Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, they want it all. They want every penny that you earn. In my opinion, they think that our labor is theirs and they just have to come up with ways to get it from us. Senate infrastructure bill includes pilot program to test mileage tax on motorists. Earlier this year, this administration floated the idea of taxing motorists based on the number of miles they travel each year. And I'm sure that when this was talked about here a while back, people were like, oh, they'll never do that. They'll never be able to get away with that. Well, they're trying to hide it in this new bill that they're passing so that it starts out with a pilot program and then it gets implemented on everyone. Now, senators who crafted the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill are moving that idea one step closer to reality. A pilot program to create a system for taxing drivers based on their vehicle mileage was slipped into Section 13002 of the legislation entitled National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee Pilot. Senators could change the language as they try to get a final version of the bill that can secure enough votes for passage. So now, ladies and gentlemen, they want to tax. Well, they've been wanting to tax people to drive. I mean, they already do. We pay registration, right? We pay taxes on gasoline. In a lot of states, you pay taxes when you purchase the vehicle. Now they want to charge you per mile. Earlier this year, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg floated the creation of such a system during his confirmation process as a way to fund an infrastructure bill. The idea was later abandoned by the administration. The current draft legislation requires the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and the Transportation Secretary Buttigieg to provide recommendations to Congress within 3 years after enactment of the bill, allowing lawmakers to decide then whether to impose a national per mile tax. The program would target passenger motor vehicles, light trucks, and medium and heavy duty trucks, and suggest fees that may vary between vehicle types and weight classes to reflect estimated impacts on infrastructure, safety, congestion, the environment, and other related social impacts. Isn't that something, ladies and gentlemen? And other related social impacts. Does that mean that if you purchase an expensive vehicle, you're going to be charged more per mile because you are a member of a higher socioeconomic class? Just thinking out loud. It recommends seeking volunteers in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico to test various ways of tracking mileage, including through smartphone apps, third-party onboard diagnostic devices, pretty much spyware, and other methods that Buttigieg considers appropriate. So as long as he considers it appropriate, ladies and gentlemen, you and I have to pretty much bend to his will because he's in charge. Is this freedom? The Secretary, in coordination with the Secretary of the Treasury and consistent with the recommendations of the Advisory Board, shall establish a pilot program to demonstrate a national motor vehicle per mile user fee to restore and maintain long-term solvency of the Highway Trust Fund and to improve and maintain the surface transportation system, the bill states. Ladies and gentlemen, they will never have enough. There is not enough money in the world that they will ever be satisfied with. It doesn't matter how much of our wealth they collect or strip away from us, they will never have enough. In their eyes, our freedoms belong to them. Our time and labor belong to them. The objectives of the pilot program are to test the design, acceptance, that's the key word, ladies and gentlemen, the acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a national motor vehicle per mile user fee to address the need for additional revenue for surface transportation infrastructure and a national motor vehicle per mile user fee, and to provide recommendations relating to the adoption and implementation of a national motor vehicle per mile user fee. And who does this hurt, ladies and gentlemen? Who does this hurt the most? It hurts the middle class and the poor. These regulations, laws, whatever you want to call it, that they're trying to pass and that they are actively trying to impose on us, these only hurt the poor. They are making what is called a two-tier society. Because I went over this with inflation the other day, and I proved to you how it is. I actually did that on the Alaska Prepper News channel, and I proved how it is that inflation hurts the poor and not the rich. This is another way. This is just another tax that will hurt the poor the most and not the rich. It's just like wanting to put a tax on purchasing a boomstick. Putting a tax on purchasing a boomstick hurts the poor but not the rich, because when you take the amount of money that additional tax, be it on boomsticks or be it on per mile driving, when you take the percentage of the amount of money that they're going to be taxing you of what a person makes as far as a salary, it's a much bigger percentage for the poor and the middle class than it is for the rich. So they are creating a two-tier society where the have-nots will have nothing. The only thing they'll have is a way to ask permission to do something. But the haves will have all the freedoms because they have the money that was created by government out of thin air and was redistributed to the upper class. So ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. However, the only way that we're going to be able to get ahead of this is to prepare our financial house, to get our financial house in order. That way, when these things start to occur, if they do, that we can at least be able to stay on that second and third rung of the ladder instead of just hoping to be reaching for that first rung of the ladder, which is just meeting the basic needs of your biological needs: food, water, shelter. That's where they want us. They want to keep us on that first rung of the ladder so that we can have someone to ask for help and that they can provide the help at whatever cost they deem necessary to us. This is just another stepping stone, ladies and gentlemen. This infrastructure bill, the more I learn about it, the worse that it is for everyone except for the rich and the elite. Having said that, I'll go ahead and leave a link to this article at the very bottom of the description of this video. There's actually a hyperlink right here where you can actually go read the bill. I actually went and looked at the bill, and that is what they say, that they are going to do a pilot program, and then there's going to be a deadline in which they're going to have to decide whether to implement this or not. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I am out.
Nutrient Survival isn't just survival food. It's special ops grade. Built to the nutritional standards of the U.S. Special Ops and packed with 40 essential nutrients. Formulated to sustain energy, sharpen focus, and keep you and your family thriving during any emergency. Real food, real ingredients. Oh, and a 25-year shelf life. Our meals will kick your taste buds in the mouth and have them coming back for dessert. Yeah, we've got that too. So whether you're digging in or bugging out, you don't just survive an emergency situation, you thrive in it. Nutrient Survival. Feed your freedom.